She was a famous actress that would become a adventure hero, one of the first female leads to become an adventurer to a cowgirl that would fight to be the best. Being one of the oldest stars that had survived the golden age of Hollywood, mixing both her beauty and strength to make her characters great. Working with John Wayne, Tyrone Power, and even other Hollywood actors in the height of their careers. She is Maureen O Hara, and this is her basic biography. Early life. Maureen O Hara was born on the 17th of August 1920 in Dublin, Ireland. Her father was a businessman that worked in the local football team, and her mother was able to work in the clothing industry within Ireland. She was able to live in Dublin with the rest of her siblings and even would live in an upper class environment within the country. She was even able to to attend schools in Ireland with the rest of her siblings as well, doing the same. Whilst at school, she managed to learn how to dance and sing, with some of her talents being taken onto the school stages, and even performing in small stage productions in local theatres of the area. She was able to build up on her acting skills and even singing and dancing skills by taking part in various pantomimes and even small stage roles as a child actress, and being a school student at the same time. She was a teenager when she was able to have her parents' support in her stage performances in full time, whilst many of her plays being performed in the 1930s, then being able to attend various competitions based on her beauty as well as modelling once she got older. After finishing her education and spending time in schools, she managed to become a stage actress in Dublin, and even worked in theatres around the area, then working in odd jobs to make ends meet whilst being an actress. Acting career. At the end of the 1930s, Maureen O'Hara would become an established stage actress with a chance to become part of the acting community by performing in various stage performances around the Dublin area. The stage performances would help with moving to the United Kingdom and even starring in various performances in London, where she was able to work in the West End, with many of her plays being popular with people around the world. This in turn would help her be scouted for films straight after her stage success. With this meant using her skills that would be transferred to the silver screen, rather than working on stage again and again and again. With most of her audiences being in Europe and not even around the world at the moment. Her first movie that was having her as a supporting actress was called the Kicking Kicking the Moon Around in 1938, where she was able to work as a singer and dancer based on her talents, and being incorporated with many other characters later on in her films. All of her movies were filmed in the United Kingdom by many production studios and even production companies that were smaller than the Hollywood studios, but still were able to make money from the films with popular audiences in the UK and even all around Europe. When she got bigger in the United Kingdom by playing in small production studios to medium sized ones later on, she was able to move to the United States for better opportunities, in which made her a bigger star on the silver screen. This was in the end of the 1930s and onto the 1940s. Hollywood had given her a contract based on playing a great character called Esmeralda in the film Hunchback of Notre Dame in 1939, and starring alongside another British actor called Charles Loughton, who would play Quasimodo, making them both a great on-screen couple. During the Second World War, Maureen O'Hara had been able to star with other actresses and use her skills in acting to become another great leading actress, with a chance to show the world that she can go on adventures and be a hero to many females in the West or even around the world. RKO Pictures would have her starring in as a lead actress with other actresses. Even one of the films that she was able to star with a great actress in was in the movie A Bill of Divorcement in 1940 with actress Katharine Hepburn starring alongside her. Then starring in Dance Girl Dance in the same year with comedic actress Lucille Ball. She managed to turn her image of a showgirl to an adventurous woman who would now be fighting alongside lead stars. One particular movie that she was starring with a male actor was called The Black Swan in 1942 with Tyrone Power. The female adventurer. The 1940s was a breakout decade for this particular actress. She had been typecasted as a lead actress and who was able to go on adventures and even be a hero to many women around the world and even people around the world. She was a great actress during this time, and with most of her movies being hits in the genres such as westerns, dramas, and even fantasies that were popular around the world at the time. She had been able to play in movies that were in both color and even monochrome, based on the production studios that were able to pay vast amounts of money based on filming these films. She even starred in the movie To the Shore of Tripoli in 1942, where it was a war film that had been able to include a female lead in the majority of a male production. She starred in another movie that was far from adventure, but more Christmassy related, based on her showing her soft side, whilst being an adventure hero or a female lead. This was the film called Miracle on 34th Street, where she was able to play a mothering character, then going back into playing an adventure hero in the movie Sinbad the Sailor in the same year with Douglas Fairbanks Jr., then ending the decade with the film Baghdad in 1949, where it was a movie that was filmed in Technicolor, in which most of her movies were filmed in. The 1950s would change her persona of the characters of being a mix of heroes and females in general in the modern era to becoming a mainstream adventurer or hero of the silver screen. She would star in the movie Rio Grande in 1950, which had her starring in the movie with John Wayne, making them having a great on screen relationship for a long period of time. The rest of the 1950s would have her playing in westerns and even adventure films in general, where she was typecasted. She would star in another movie called Flame of Araby in 1951 with Jeff Chandler, where he would be starting out his career, and she would be helping him becoming a great actor and making her a great actress in turn. Later, starring in the film with him again, in other films with him again, within the same decade, but not allowing him to get bigger than her on most of the silver screen credits and even silver screen films in general. She would start working with John Wayne again throughout the most of her career. She would star in two movies in this particular decade with him, which were the Quiet Man in 1952, and even The Wings of an Angel in 1957. She continued to act in major movies in the rest of the decade, and even working in multiple adventure roles afterwards. The 1950s would see her working with multiple movies as an adventurer uh, in various genres, such as adventure, westerns, and even family orientated movies. She would even star in the film The Parent Trap in 1961, and even McLintock in 1963, and then starring in many television roles at the same time. Personal life and final years. Maureen O Hara was married at least three times and had one child. Her first husband was called George Brown, with their relationship lasting from 1939 to 1941. Her second husband was Will Price, with their relationship lasting from 1941 to 1953. Her final husband was Charles Blair Jr., with their relationship lasting from 1968 to 1978. She managed to work with actor Paul Robeson in the UK and had been able to work with other great actors and actresses in Hollywood plus outside of Hollywood, making her one of the greatest actresses in the world who was able to support many people with many causes. She won awards in acting and in Hollywood in general, as she got her own Walk of Fame in Hollywood and being added to many halls of fames from many westerns or cowboy museums. Then being able to be added by many organizations with the award listings and even being a great actress at the same time. She continued to act in the 1970s in both television and film, with her career lasting to the 21st century. She even would get an Oscar in 2014, with her last performance being A Century of Cinema in 1994, and her last television appearance being Dreaming the Quiet Man in 2010. Yet helping people in Hollywood and even people around the world before her death in 2015. Legacy and death. Sadly, Maureen O Hara passed away on the 24th of October 2015 in Idaho, USA, at the age of 95 years old. She was having many health problems occurring before her death, and even being classed as one of the longest living and even surviving actresses of her time. She was even able to work in Hollywood within her older age, with a chance of being part of Hollywood when she was the only Irish or one of the first Irish actresses or one of the great actresses outside of the United States. Her legacy still lives on today, with most of her movies being able to be shown around the world, and even inspiring many actresses to become heroes, to becoming breakout stars by breaking the divide between men and women on the big screen in various action movies and even television shows. You can see that modern actresses nowadays were able to share some similarities to her characters and even the characters she's played with their characters as well. Many actresses such as Mila Jovovich, Kate Beckinsale, and even Angelina Jolie, to name a few, were able to play action heroes on the silver screen and even in cinema in general. And this was all thanks to the great Maureen O Hara. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't done so. My name is Suki Cookie, and thank you for watching. Also, I will be making more videos after Christmas and even into the new year. So thank you for watching this video, and please subscribe if you haven't done so, and please check out my other videos if you have a chance over the holidays. May I say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to all, and anyone who has been watching my programs, please continue to watch them in the new year, and I will be improving in the new year as well. Thank you very much.